just feel like her arteries are like, we can't move. Hey y'all, it's Rosie here, and in an effort to stay on track with the uploads that I have promised, I wanted to take this time to go ahead and do another reaction video. Now, I have done reactions to the carnivore diet in the past, and instead of catching up with some of the people I've talked about previously, like Carnivores Me, I thought, why not check out this video that was in my recommendeds, which is called TikTok Carnivores Are Insane. And then it was followed up with TikTok Carnivores Keep Getting Crazier. So if this one goes well, I will definitely react to the other one. Now, I'm going to drop a link in the description box to where I found these compilations of like the TikTok carnivores, so that if you want to, you can just go watch the video on their channel or watch some of their other compilations. I haven't watched any of this stuff before, so it'll all be new to me, just like it's new to y'all. So let's get into it.
I started my day with some homemade broth, and the fact that this is going to gross you guys out just brings me so much joy. I drink it while getting some morning sun. My new favorite soup.
Carnivore. Now, I'm sure you've heard of vegans, vegetarians, the keto diet, people who love the raw diet, all of these different ways of living that restrict the way you eat. And one of the newer ones, with the rise of people like Carnivore MD and the Liver King, has been people who identify as carnivores. Now, I'm not saying like people who joke around saying they only eat meat. I'm talking about people who genuinely do not allow plants to enter their body, including the lady we're going to be talking about today. It's Courtney Luna, a TikToker who only allows herself to pretty much eat steak and butter and cheese. Now look, I don't care what you eat. I don't care if you're a vegan or a carnivore. That's your private business. But when you take it online and then you start trying to convert people to only eating hamburgers, then you've opened yourself up to questions. And well, that's where I come in. Let's begin. Please subscribe.
Getting anxiety just staring at the butter. Just staring at the butter. It's freaking me out.
Alright, sorry for the elevator music, had to get rid of some copyrighted music, you know TikTok. But here we have some results from 7 weeks on a carnivore diet. Lost 15 pounds, feel better mentally, better sleep, and you know what? I don't doubt it. It's been 7 weeks. You've started a new diet, you've changed the way you're eating, you've lost weight. Of course you're gonna feel better about yourself. Does that mean eating only meat is necessarily healthier? No, but you're on a diet, so you're probably subconsciously eating less because you know you're supposed to be on a diet, and that's probably what's actually led to.
I like how while he's talking, he's just continually zooming in on the bacon and the bacon grease. Oh my god, I don't have a gallbladder. I can't be eating any of these things.
It's only been 7 weeks. You might be feeling good now, but you eat nothing but red meat for the next 10 years, your heart is going to be begging for mercy.
My new favorite soup. I cooked 1 pound of ground pork. I just seasoned mine with salt, but feel free to use a breakfast sausage. Drain out all that grease, and then I added this gelatinous homemade beef bone broth. I warmed that up a little bit so I could dump it in.
I've made homemade bone broth. It is a very labor-intensive process because it takes like days. It's honestly really good, so no complaints on the bone broth part of it.
I love the little blob. And stir it up, warm it up, then add in 1 cup of cream cheese.
Whoa. Okay, wait.
Add salt to taste. And I like to top my soups with a dollop of sour cream.
I mean this in genuinely the nicest way I think I can mean it. I would not even allow this near my dogs, much less feed it to them. It's
like a giant fat bomb. Like a huge fat bomb.
This is meat cereal, ma'am. Milk, ground beef, and sour cream with a little salt.
Meat cereal. I'm going to have to call it that from now on.
Salt. That sounds like one of the worst things you could make, ever. Seriously.
I think some garlic powder, some potatoes, leeks, a vegetable medley, some onion, and a hell of a lot of seasoning would go a long way into making this a palatable dish.
I started my day with some homemade broth, and the fact that this is going to gross you guys out just brings me so much joy. I drink it while getting some morning sun.
Low-key kind of feels like a troll by being like, the fact that you're going to be grossed out by this. But y'all, I mean, look, I don't see anything wrong with eating red meat at all. Steak is great. Ribs are great. How she even moves if that's all that's in her body, though. Like, don't you just, oh my God, like, don't you just want some grapes or tomato or a cucumber? Something fresh. Like, if everything's that heavy all the time, you know what I mean? Like, it would, I don't know.
However, there is a very real phenomenon of people enjoying getting attention from angering people or shocking people. This seems like that might be one of those cases. I mean, really, it brings you so much joy.
Yeah, like some shock and awe trolling, you know?
That people are grossed out that you're drinking animal broth in place of your morning coffee. I mean, okay, maybe find more things to do. And like, nobody's actually getting worked up over this. If anything, I'm angry over the fact that you have been led by people on the internet with big followings to believe that eating nothing but red meat is a healthy way to live, and that you are now adding to that issue.
I cooked a steak for my husband and had a few bites of that, and then we shooby-doobied down to Ruby's. Met some family for lunch, and I had a burger patty for $2.99. And later, for an early dinner, I cooked up half-pound burger patties, and while those were cooking, I fried up some bread cheese, which was phenomenal. I had one of the half-pound patties, some bread cheese.
What's bread cheese? Is it weird? Like, that doesn't look appetizing to me. That big juicy steak looked pretty good, but...
I actually had 6 pieces, some kefir, and my organ supplements.
What is bread cheese?
Okay, so I'm not even going to address the fact that someone out there believes that a fried burger patty and fried cheese and a glass of whole milk is healthy for a dinner, but it always makes me laugh when people who eat non-conventional diets are always like, oh, my body gets everything it needs, blah, 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 it's so healthy, and then they have to down like 7 supplements with every meal.
Yes, okay, if you thought that just eating meat and cheese only was the perfect way to live, why are you eating all these supplements?
Look, I don't care if you're a vegan or a carnivore, eat whatever you want, but please don't make it about health, make it about a personal preference. If you have to eat 14 supplements a day for your body to get what it needs with your current diet, your diet's not about health.
I broke my fast with homemade broth, had a burger with goat cheese and organ supplements, and for dinner I cooked up some tri-tip in my air fryer, and I ate 2 of those dipped in butter.
Look, I love steak. If you ask me any day of the week what my favorite food is, it's gonna be steak. If I go to a nice restaurant, I'm getting a steak. However, I can realize that steak, 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, isn't exactly optimal, okay? Can we all agree on that at least? Eating red meat once or twice a week, you're gonna have no issues. Don't take that as medical advice, I'm not a doctor, but you're gonna have no issues, okay? Eating it 21 times...
Yes, I'm agreeing with the guy that's put this video together because, like, wow. It's just a lot. It's a lot. It's heavy. It's a lot. It's gonna make her sluggish. I just feel like her arteries are like, we can't move.
Times a week, you might start running into problems. I mean, this is genuinely the problem with guys like Carnivore MD and the Liver King. I mean, you've got a guy who's a doctor and a guy who looks like a retired IFBB pro telling you that eating nothing but red meat every day of the week is amazing. And they have millions of followers, so you start to think, well, if all these people follow him, they can't be wrong, right? And this is how you end up eating like this. I know that the Liver King makes TikTok a lot of money, but if they're gonna deplatform people like that vegan teacher, then it's hypocritical to not deplatform people like the Liver King. They're both giving out insane diet advice.
Well, when we were talking about carnivorous me, someone said that the Liver King came out and was like, oh, I didn't actually get this way from the carnivore diet. I actually do steroids. Am I imagining that? I feel like I definitely heard that.
This is what we order when we head to Five Guys for a carnivore-friendly dinner. It is much cheaper to order solo patties. They're only $2.10 each. My husband even got some free cheese on his. I get mine plain. They are really delicious. They don't add any salt, so you need to grab some packets and add it yourself. I always feel the need to eat burger patties with my bare hands, but it was super hot, so I grabbed a fork and I dug right in. So delicious. Go give them a try.
Funnily enough, this is probably the most healthy thing we've seen them eat this entire...
That's just... I know a lot of people are going to find this controversial, but like, that's some white people stuff. I mean, there is no seasonings on that. Nothing but salt. Like, can you at least put some hot sauce on it? Something? Some garlic powder? Maybe some paprika? Maybe some butt rub? Something. It just has to not taste good. But the little amounts that I eat, I want them to taste damn good. You know what I mean? I can't relate to this. I mean, good on her. Whatever you gotta do, however you want to eat. I don't care either way. But add some sort of flavor to it.
I'm wondering, why is cheese conveniently included in a carnivore diet? Cheese is not meat. This does not really seem like a carnivore diet. This seems more like a I want to eat the tasty things diet.
I love making these cheese wraps. They hold up really well, so you can meal prep and have a whole batch in your fridge. Fill them with your favorite fillings and roll it up. And to make it, I use 2 slices of cheese and toast it for about 5 minutes.
All right, Courtney, so if you ever see this, I have a question. If you're really doing this...
That probably is good. That probably is good.
For health, which you say you are, why would you eat this over, say, like a lettuce wrap with turkey and cheese on the inside? Do you think that this is healthier than that? And if so, how do you justify that? I'm really asking.
And keto-friendly pizza. Add 3/4 of a pound of cooked chicken to a food processor. Add a large pinch of salt. I used a cheese blend, but you can use regular shredded parm. Add in 1/2 cup and 2 eggs. Blend it all up real good. This should be the consistency. Put a piece of parchment paper on your pizza stone or a cookie sheet. Spread it out real thin. I ended up putting another piece of parchment paper and taking my rolling pin to it. You want it as thin as you can.
The literal definition of pizza includes a dough base. We're not even off of step 1 yet, and we've already lost the pizza aspect of pizza. I have a feeling, just a funny feeling, this is not going to actually turn out to be a pizza.
And then bake that for 20 minutes at 400
No, this is a baked chicken pate.
degrees. It will be firm and a little golden brown on the edges. Then add your sauce of choice. I made an Alfredo for ours. Spread it all out, and then you're going to add your toppings and your mozzarella cheese and bake it again.
Why did that Alfredo look like it didn't have any seasoning in it?
For about 10 minutes and cut it all up. Hopefully you do a better job than I did. And I thought it was really good. If you guys make it...
God, it has to be so bland and heavy. Like, that's all I know, is it's just bland and heavy, and that's this lady's whole diet.
Let me know what you think. You know, it's pretty sturdy. I think it gets the job done.
Did I miss something in the 3rd grade when we were learning about the food pyramid? Is Alfredo sauce a type of meat? I mean, are there any actual restrictions to this diet, or is it just eat what I want and call it carnivore? At least vegans and vegetarians have actual lines they draw. I mean, you go through the trouble of not using bread, but then you bring in mozzarella cheese and Alfredo sauce. 2/3 of this dish is not meat. So I'm just gonna quickly, eating meat bad? No, of course it's not. Is eating nothing but meat bad? Yes. Your body needs vegetables, your body needs greens. These are just things your body needs.
Yeah, I mean, I can't make a judgment on any of this. You know what I mean? Like, we're all doing our own thing in life. But I do kind of agree with what the guy has said about, I just feel like if she has to have all of these supplements and stuff, like, obviously she's not getting the nutrients and things her body requires just being on the meat diet.
I mean, nobody bats an eye when people say that vegetarians need meat. It's just the same. People who only eat meat need some spinach every now and then. You know, some broccoli every once in a while. If it's working for you now, that's great. I'm happy for you. But hopefully you realize that eating like this is not sustainable for the rest of your life. Well, guys.
Okay, well, I'm gonna call it a wrap on that video. But, I mean, it was pretty funny, but it wasn't as extreme as I was thinking. But yeah, truly, I agree with what the August the Duck or whatever has to say, that it was like, it's not just meat. Like, butter isn't meat, cheese isn't meat, milk isn't meat. So if you're only eating meat, none of those items are meat. Those are just animal products? Byproducts? That doesn't sound right. That makes me think it's like a kidney or something. Okay. I guess, well, let's watch the next one.